Ticklishness, childish game or neurological defense mechanism. You're minding your own business, and someone pokes your side. Suddenly, you're squealing, writhing, and swatting like a malfunctioning sprinkler system. Tickling is one of the most universally strange human reactions, part comedy routine, part fight-or-flight response, and somehow always involving that one friend who takes it just a little too far. But ticklishness isn't just a bizarre social torture we all tolerate from childhood onward. It might actually be one of evolution's sneakiest multi-tools, cleverly disguised as a giggle fest. Let's start with the basics. Being ticklish seems oddly specific. Not all touch makes us laugh, scream, and flail like cartoon characters. Only certain areas, feet, ribs, neck, armpits, react this way. What do these spots have in common? They're some of the most vulnerable and least protected parts of our bodies. They're where predators, insects, or even rival humans could most easily cause harm. So ticklishness may have evolved as a kind of early warning system, a hypersensitive alert to unwanted contact that says, in effect, hey, something's creeping up on you, deal with it. From a neurological standpoint, it's a beautifully chaotic mess. The reaction to tickling activates the somatosensory cortex, which processes touch, the anterior cingulate cortex, which handles emotional responses, and even areas like the hypothalamus, which is involved in fight or flight. That's right, your brain is literally torn between laughing and launching a defensive counterattack. No wonder tickling makes you feel both amused and vaguely betrayed. But not all tickles are created equal. There's nasmesis, the light, itchy tickle you might get from a bug crawling on your skin, which is less hilarious and more get it off now. And then there's gargalesis, the deep belly laugh-inducing tickle that only happens when someone else deliberately goes for your ribs. Oddly enough, most people can't self-induce gargalesis because your brain, being the ever-skeptical roommate it is, cancels the laugh reaction when it knows what's coming. That's a pretty good clue that ticklishness is meant for social interaction, not solo entertainment. Which brings us to the other side of ticklishness, its role in building social bonds. Yes, it's weird. But think about how often tickling shows up in early human interactions. Parents tickle babies. Siblings tickle each other to the brink of psychological warfare. Flirting sometimes includes playful tickles that somehow don't lead to lawsuits. That's because tickling, done consensually and in the right context, can release endorphins, trigger laughter, and create shared moments of physical closeness that mimic the feel-good effects of grooming behavior in other primates. In other words, your ancestors may have used tickling to say, hey, I like you, I trust you enough to touch you in your defenseless spots, and also I'd like to see you lose control of your limbs for a moment.
Charming, right?
Of course, the line between fun and torture is razor-thin when it comes to tickles. Evolution may have blessed us with this odd reflex to keep us alert and bonded, but it forgot to install an off switch. Once you're being tickled and laughing uncontrollably while simultaneously plotting your escape, your body is caught in a paradox. It thinks you're in danger, but also that it's hilarious. It's the biological equivalent of watching someone slip on a banana peel and then realizing it was you. So, what's the verdict? Ticklishness isn't just a childish game, nor is it a useless evolutionary leftover. It's part defense mechanism, part social glue, and part neurological prank. It keeps us on high alert, teaches us about vulnerability, and connects us to each other, ideally without anyone getting kicked in the face. The next time someone tickles you, and you involuntarily shriek like a caffeinated squirrel, just remember, you're experiencing one of evolution's more creative multitasking features. It's not childish, it's primal, it's social, and it's a defense strategy wrapped in laughter. Just maybe don't use it during a business meeting.